G'day from Oz. Nothing like doing a 20-minute video only to find out you were sharing the wrong screen, so I've had to do it over again. Schoolboy error 1-on-1. Anyway, we'll try and cut this down from 20 minutes to 10 minutes because we should have this better than what we had before. Blood on the streets, lots of it, and oh crikey, it hasn't a market shed. It's probably gone from $750 billion down to $550 billion in a matter of frick all time. For those who probably, I hope someone listened, for those 3 people to subscribe and get the rest of them to subscribe, yeah, hopefully you get some tether up your sleeve and you're looking at buy positions now. I think I'm going to make sure I've got everything right this time. We'll quickly go through what I've been keeping an eye on. LTC, now I did have a video before about LTC touching up here, and me deciding to actually use the graph instead of FOMO. The graph gave me the impression actually that it's probably hit the end of its run and to do a short. I did a small short, and to be honest I didn't let it run because eToro is shit when it comes to shorting. It doesn't short on cryptos. So we touched up here and I probably made a few dollars out of that. Not much, probably about 10%, but still can't complain. Well, it decided to continue, and happily I touched in and around about, I think 180 I bought, or 185 I caught it, and I bought just a little bit, only a small position, because who knows, we could still be dropping down to 140 and worst case scenario 120, and oh Jesus, wouldn't we love to see those prices again back at 90 cents. I would be selling my kids and my wife for the short term, and then I'll buy them back with the money I made on crypto. But yeah, you can see there's a major downtrend going on. Everything's, I've got my eyes on waves. I won't go into too much detail, but from the people I've come to know and trust, they think it's a pretty good product, and once it starts to turn, it could be, well, if you look at what's going on, I think at least we're looking at 3 times if it gets back to its all-time high. But these guys I speak to, and they're pretty cluey, are suggesting it'll go well beyond that in the next year. Yeah, have a look at my friend BTC. Had a discussion online the other day about this exact graph because someone else, we were talking about fibs, and I just wanted to make sure I was on the right page. Someone had a quick glance and went, and then went, actually you're not too bad. Now, the one thing I chucked in has always been in there is this trend line that I've been looking at since back here, just something to give me a rough idea of what the natural progression should have been. And funny enough, and you can look at my last video, this hasn't been doctored, it cracked that trend line and it spat the dummy. Now, again, I'm not a major financial advisor. In fact, I'm not a financial advisor. I can deliver you pizza, but don't trust me for anything else. But the people I speak to, they've suggested that this could touch off at 8.8 before February and maybe a little bit lower. So we'll keep an eye on that space, but probably not best to go chucking money in right now. You want to see some significant turn. 0x. Yeah, it's slightly broken what I suspected as my trend line. Considering what's going on with the market and all the other moves, I can't complain. I still think this one's going to be a slow and sure steady winner. Again, not financial advice. Don't trust a word that I say. I could have a huge position in 0x and just want you to buy my debt. That's all we're doing, people, passing on our debt to someone else. ADA, Cardano, want to buy back in. I kind of bought in here and released on the top about here, only for it to scream up to here and cried. But can't complain. I've always argued profit is profit is profit. You know, if anyone from Star Trek out there knows what a Ferengi is and a Vulcan is, I think the best mix of those 2 species is what you want. You want someone that can control their emotions a bit, but still have that element of greed, profit. And this is what we're here for. We're not here to come here and make to give our money away. So I'm looking for something a bit more solid from Cardano before I come back in. But definitely looking for something there. INS, quick touch up on this one. INS, I bought into that. To be honest, yeah, product, few partnerships, yeah, fairly solid stuff, but it was more the hype that I was interested in. and I come out a lot better than what this price, this market suggests. When it come out last night, because it was going to come out at KuCoin and OKEx, and sorry if I pronounce these wrong, you know what, I can give a shit. But yeah, ED, the SDD of our exchanges, it popped up about $20, because what happens when these exchanges got officially announced and tokens officially are listed, something was going on in Binance in the background that our friends at INS ecosystem forgot to mention through any of their communication channels. Now, I'm happy to be corrected if I'm wrong, and by all means send me something on the page while you're at it, while you're correcting me, subscribe. But yeah, I think there was some information on the TG channel that people were suspecting there was a bit of insider trading, or it does seem a bit suspicious that, yeah, you mentioned all the smallish, and we're not saying these are small by any means, exchanges, but you forget Binance. And now look at the volume at Binance compared to the rest of them. So you wouldn't forget Binance. It's not like, where'd I put my keys? No, this is Binance, mate. So, yeah, I think the feed in TG was, this doesn't smell right, yeah. We'll leave it at that. You can be the decider, but I got out at about $10. I sold a third of my position for 200% return. So I get to hold 2/3 for free. Yeah, well, less than free, because I got my profit back. And we'll see how they go. I said they had a fairly solid thing. They have solid partnerships, but in terms of growth or anything, I'll say this one: HST. There's some bigger potential out there. Yeah, and I'll shout out to Horizon State, another Aussie. I like Horizon State, and especially because I come from a political background. I've been around a bit. What you guys are going to do in Horizon State, look, this is not investment advice, but have a look. This is blockchain actually getting used for something else apart from finance. Well done. This has been a long time coming, and personally I just think that anyone can institute voting on a blockchain, where someone has a phone in their hand, they can vote. Potentially you could be overriding a lot of oppressive governments that, you go to the poll stations as military. If you've got a phone, you can vote. Jesus, like, there's democracy, like, on a blockchain. Now, this is one thing I think, traditionally blockchain by itself, and this is a ramble, governments don't like things they can't govern, so blockchain and finance is a big issue. But blockchain and voting and democracy, we'll add up. That's a whole other thing. So, keep an eye on those guys. I think if they can kick it off and get it happening as a mainstream thing, and start getting behind, especially oppressive government lines, and not just for general elections. You can vote for, I guess, anything. It's immutable, so keep an eye on that one. Love the guys. I think as an Aussie mob, I can't follow on LinkedIn, follow them and everything. Just keep an eye on them. Apart from that, look, I'm going to have a laugh today. Today's laugh of the day is a ICO called Matrix, and jeez, that went down like a shower of shit. What happened is they announced the ICO. They made it quite clear that the Ethereum address will only be available through the website after you've logged in. They weren't going to announce it through any TG or any other platform, and that was their undoing. Simple as that. We're having 10,000 people plus, because the TG is pretty strong, smashing into the server at one particular time because they're all FOMOing, trying to get the Ethereum address. Yeah, it didn't pan out, so they postponed it for another hour, and again, we don't learn from our mistakes in ICOs. We should know that by now. And so an hour later, it's the same thing. But the funny thing is, they were kind of claiming it was a DDOS attack, and I'm going to refute this, because DDoS generally takes down the whole domain, the web-facing part of the domain, so the Apache service or whatever. Okay, email could still work if they leave that port open, but generally, if they're consuming the bandwidth and they're smashing out the sockets on a web server, then it won't serve any pages, irrespective of whether it was a login page or a home page. Well, oddly enough, the login page didn't produce a 404 error or any real error. It just kind of come up blank, and look at the source code, there was not a cracker to it. but the homepage was still firing quite happily. So that doesn't suggest to me the DDOS, but it might suggest to me that they didn't anticipate the kind of traffic, and because they were going to adjust the Ethereum address by a web page on a server, what's the bet the traffic did, there was significant load where they couldn't actually establish a half decent upload to put the new page on or something. But either way, it's a technical issue. It wasn't DDoS. It would have been lack of foresight, lessons learnt. But they palmed it off as DDoS, and what really pissed off made the issue worse is after the first one. So the first one failed, and they made it clear not to accept any other address in TG, which is standard practice. But they didn't communicate for the first 5-10 minutes. So while the page went down, and basically everyone was shitting themselves, throwing out messages going, "What the hell's going on? Is it all over?" And there were some twats in there going, "It's all sold out." Yeah, you're gonna love this shit. And people, sit back and watch these TG channels. Have a look at psychology play out. Yeah, it is amazing when you watch some people just, "It's sold out. It's FOMO. I got in. Here's my address." And you're sure as shit, because of the FOMO, some poor suckers clicked on the address. Now, that could have been basically severely reduced by the moderators in the channel, at least muting the conversation, taking hold of the situation, communicating back out, and not waiting for 10 minutes to say we're going to reschedule. And basically all they did was reschedule the same mistake for an hour later. So, look, if that's any indication of the technical skills or maybe the insight of what this team can understand about infrastructure, then we're in trouble, because cryptography blockchain is probably a little bit more complex than serving a static web page with a simple Ethereum address. So, look, it could be interesting. I wasn't going to invest. I was just looking at it purely for the hype, like nothing more what I did with INS or a few other tokens at the moment. There's very few I actually invest in because I believe in it, and that's the honest truth. And I've already mentioned one today that I believe in, and there's a couple of others out there that I might talk about over time. But look, at the end of the day, a lot of these white paper schmucks are just idiots, and if they can't keep a predictable, we've got 10,000 people on a TG and we're going to ask them all to log in at a single time because everyone's worried about selling out, that's asking for hiding to nowhere. So, look, I'll leave that there. It was it was fun to watch. I might have a look at it. I'm going to have a look at the WePower ICO, only because I've referenced Australia a few times in the white paper. I'm a bit interested because I think this is what Power Ledger did in its second round of ICO, was using capital gain to seed assets. I think WePower is going to move straight into that space. Makes you wonder what the first round of ICO really was for with Power. I think it was more just for operational cost and stuff like that. But yeah, look, happy for Power to always fill me in, update us. But look, I think that WePower is going to be a genuine, if they come into Australia, because they've mentioned it. I think it's because we've got smart meters. We're not too far behind. They've got the Slovenian government's backing. There's a couple other companies out there I look at, like Sun Network. I think Sun Network or SNC. I think it's another one of those companies out in those regions where power and government isn't such a taboo subject like it is in Australia. In government in Australia, they're too scared to actually take a lead on power, because the power companies have got us by the balls, and that's consumers and the government at the same time, because they own the lines, they own the infrastructure. So anyone competing in this space, and this is what I like to see how Power Ledger is going to take it on, it'll be interesting to see what the company's attitudes are to those the likes of Power and WePower, whether it's tokenistic or genuine, because I don't know any company is going to want to see their bottom line be eroded by a blockchain bloody technology that was it's a what do they call it? It's a scam. It's not legit. It's all fraud. Here we go. But WePower, look, one I'm going to have a look at. I'm going to ask him, because I'm interested to know how because they're going to use basically the funds from the ICO and by selling it, and it'd be interesting to know how those assets stay. If WePower is responsible for purchasing, say, 20% of an asset, it'd be interesting to know how long they retain that 20%. If they retain it past the sale, in other words, they collect money on the sale. And, there's some other thing. But I'm going to have a look. I'm going to put up a review, see how we go. I think these guys are, anything with power is generally going to be a good thing. There's a couple of other ones at the moment, but yeah, I'm having a look. And I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I'll have a look at, there's a couple of new ICOs I'm going to have a look. If you've got something you want me to particularly have a look at, let me know. I'll put my BS detector on full. We'll see if we can talk to the team through unofficial channels, but we'll always give them the right reply and see if we can pull these bastards apart and expose the cracks and then find out what's going on. Otherwise, take it easy. It's going to be hot 40s out here, which is freaking hot in American terms. It's hot. So we might not have a video for the next day or two, but who knows? I might see something I just got to say something about. I'm just going to have a quick look while we've got you here. It ain't really big because they're talking about Ethereum. There's a bit of a price spike, sell-off. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a bit of. If you subscribe to a lot of channels, people, it might be noisy, but sometimes you can tell. If you can look past the bullshit, you can see some elements of truth. It's kind of like having kids. You're never going to get the full truth, but somewhere along their lines, something in the middle is the truth. So, Ethereum looks like it did have a bit of a sharp sell-off. Ripple, now my guys are thinking this is going to go below $1 easy, potentially back to 50 cents. So, but I've never been a fan of this coin. It's not in our possession, people. We don't have anything to do with it. We're just supporting the system. So no. Love Cardano. I think it's based on white papers reviewed by peers, university grade. Look, and Litecoin. Keep an eye on that one. Neo, didn't that have a good run to $200 today and back? Now, keeping in mind that I think predominantly the most of the run is because of the ICOs that are coming up. And people want to fill up their bags with Neo, especially if you can fill up your bags. Like I filled out mine, but I didn't say fill because there's some blokes out there who got I think 14,000 or that. Are you lucky? Anytime you want to send me a donation or that, let me know. I got 30 because I knew that ICOs were coming up on the radar, but I bought it between 25 and 50. So look, if I can get my returns back through ICOs or even just gas at the moment, gas has kind of jumped up happily. I'm not making enough of it, or heaps, but I made enough to probably buy some Neo by now. So all these things correlate. I think there's an ICO that uses Stellar, and I wouldn't be surprised if that jacks up price. Holy shit! Look at IOTA, people. 294. I'm gonna have to have a bit of a look at that one. Especially because we all know IOTA this year, or this year, last year. Either way, the MS and IOTA debacle. Holy shoes are really. Hey, look, guys, it's fire sale, but I'll be a little bit reserved about jumping in over the top just yet. For example, OMIs can come back to 10. Tether will always be Tether. I imagine there's a lot of people with the hold attitude that are probably sweating bullets at the moment. Here we go. Look at that. Now, look at the pressure that's come on with the rest of the coins, and look at gas. I was quite amazed. As I said, if it's touched $70, I could actually was quite impressed about that. And that's why I like Neo. If you can line your pockets with Neo, and if you think it's got a long time potential, you basically got a passive income. So look, Neo is always a good thing for me. Look, there's blood in the streets. When you come to think of it, look at gas compared to everything else. Holy camole. Gas is like that jewel that just somehow survived it all. Oh, why not? I won't Tether, no shit. And Neo, we know Neo is up 200. I can guarantee Neo is near 200, so it's definitely more than 2.55%. And that's one thing I've got to say, people. I've looked at the graphs between CoinDingy and market cap, and I got to say, market cap always makes the graph look less fearful. Whereas CoinDingy kind of makes you go, wait up, I'm a bit hesitant about it. Whereas, I don't know, just tell me what you think, but market coin CMC, let's go 7 days here, right? Yeah. Now, let's go back. We'll go back to the start of that. Because this is the joke. Have a look how peaceful this graph looks. You wouldn't think there was like a 20, and it was. It would have been 20-odd% at least. You wouldn't see that there. You'd think, it's at all-time highs, That's what it was. It was a lot higher than that. 190. So yeah, to say from 190, and it's there. Price 194.79. Yeah, between that and that in less than a day is more than that. So look, I don't take this coin market cap literally. I've learnt in the last few weeks to start looking at proper graded graphs from half reputable places, because that's a bit misleading. Definitely more than that. It's lost a lot more than that. Alright, people, I'm going to go before I ramble on too much. Hooroo from Oz. Take it easy, and I will catch you on the next run.